Good morning and God bless everyone. My name is Angelo Navarro from Bachelor of Science in Social Work 1B. So for today's video, we will be talking about gender and society. So basically, on our past discussion, we already talked about gender and society, the sexuality, and how did they differ from each other. So from this topic, we will then go deeper about gender and society. What are the role of gender or how culture affects gender? So, regarding on the first question, as we all know that gender refers to the characteristics of man, woman, girl, and boy that are socially constructed. Meaning, ito po yung mga tao na socially constructed. Like for example, the teachers. So, as we all know, teachers, may mga babae, lalaki. Of course, the students, babae, lalaki. So, that what we call socially constructed. Meaning, we have our own role regarding or disregarding our gender. We have a specified role disregarding our gender. Like for example, the businessman or woman, the pastors, or it could be a girl or a boy. Anything that talks about your role in the society. Your role as an individual within that particular society. Like for example, in your house, you are the eldest one, you are the father, you are the mother, but in the workplace, you are a worker, you're an employee, in which you cannot act the same attitude or behavior on different contexts. So another cited definition about our gender or how gender play a role in our society is that gender signifies the behavior, attitudes of an individual on what society expect them as female or male. Alam naman natin sa ating kapaligiran na ang pagtatrabaho ng babae at lalaki ay nakabatay sa kanilang mga kakayahan bilang mga babae at lalaki. And so there goes the culture affects gender. When we are in our family, you're a female. And we all know that if you're a female in your family, if you're a mother or a sister, a daughter, ang mga trabaho ng mga babae sa ating bahay ay yung lamang paghuhugas ng pinggan, yung mga basic na nalalaman natin. Kasi yung tinuturo ng mga magulang sa atin na kapag babae, yung trabaho mo ay ganito, maglalaba ka, magwawalis, maghuhugas ng pinggan, yung ganun. At kapag lalaki naman, yung pinagsasabihan ng kanilang mga magulang, ginagawa nila yung pag-iitak ng mga kahoy, pag-igib ng tubig, kahit na nung mga trabaho na sa tingin natin ay para sa mga lalaki. But then because of some instances, because of the term globalization, may mga nagaganap na pagbabago sa ating mga kultura. Like yung mga naggagawa ng mga lalaki ay nagagawa na din ng mga babae. So talking about gender role in society, nakapaloob din dito ang mga inequality na nararanasan ng isang individual. Like for example, kapag babae ka, yan lang dapat dahil nga because of the constructed idea of the society that you are a female, that wala kang ibang gawin kundi ganito lang kasi babae ka. What I'm trying to say is that having varying roles between male and female causes confusion between the two. The male role dictates that men suppress and dismiss emotions, while the female role encourages and even expects women to be overly emotional. So in conclusion, to sum up my idea, gender role in society means how we are expected to act, dress, speak, or conduct ourselves based upon our sex. Like for example, for girls and women, they are expected to wear dress typically in feminine ways and other girly behavior or attitude that a woman or a girl must have. So as I have mentioned earlier,
second question,
culture
which is,
has a
how
great
does culture
role
affects gender?
when it comes or when it terms of developing our gender identity or gender role in society. Why? It is because culture is a way of living. So it could be a set of behavior, attitudes, norms, belief, tradition that a large group exercise that passes through generation to generation. So it is difficult for an individual to delete or erase it since it was been passed or being marked by generations. So, hindi po talaga natin masisisi na may mga pagkikilatis na nagaganap sa kapwa nating tao nang dahil lang sa ating nakasanayang mga kultura. So, paano nga ba naapektuhan ang ating gender sa ating kultura? So, sa aking palagay, maapektuhan talaga yung gender development natin nang dahil sa ating nakasanayang kultura kapag ang isang tao ay nagsimula ng mag-critic or magbibigay ng mga biased judgment to another individual. Like for example, nakasanayan nating mga Pilipino or bilang isang individual na kapag lalaki or kapag babae, ganyan dapat ang kaniyang sinusuot na damit. But then, there are some individuals who act in opposite regarding their sex, or what I'm trying to talk about is the LGBTQ community. So there goes the gender was been affected by our culture since they've experienced gender stereotyping, bias judgment. Why did they act such thing? Not just LGBTQ community, but of course to those people who are disabled or who are not able. Yun nga yung mga possible example kung paano naapektuhan ang ating gender sa ating kultura. Ito ay dahil sa ating mga nakasanayang kaugalian na kapag ang lalaki ganyan, kapag ang babae ganito. So as we can observe in our society nowadays, as I have mentioned earlier, that gender role in society talks about how we are expected to dress, speak, and the like in accordance to our sex. But then, this generation or in this contemporary world, people nowadays tend to change some set of tradition or culture that we had. So, kagaya lamang ng mga lesbian na nagsusuot ng mga panglalaki, like ganyan, mga gay na nagsusuot ng mga pambabae na mga kasuotan. Since I'm talking kanina na kapag babae ka, babae din, kapag lalaki ka, lalaki din yung mga suot mo, kapag babae ka, dapat yung behavior mo pang babae din. But then, as we can observe, a lot of changes happen since change is dynamic. So, as an effective individual, we have to be very adaptable. We have to be flexible of changes happen in our society in order for us to develop, in order for us to be more rational and logical being in this world. Yun yung ating nalalaman na kapag kung ano yung sex mo, dapat yun din yung behavior na ipapakita mo, yun yung dapat na iparating sa kanila because it is what they expected you to be. Kung nakikita nilang babae ka, dapat ang mga kasuotan mo ay puro pang babae. Pero kapag babae ka, pero yung sinusuot mo ay puro pang lalaki yung style mo. So, you might get some negative comments. There are maybe positive, but majority of that would be negative because it is opposite of what is expected. In addition, traditionally speaking, women are expected to be more gentle, passive, and emotional. But hindi lahat ng mga babae ganyan. May mga babae din kasi na mga agresibo. Oo, kaya nga sinasabi dyan na naapektuhan talaga ang gender sa mga kultura. So this question is quite subjective, since we all have our right to give our opinion, our comments about that certain question. So for me, it's a very big no, since children with lesbian or gay or any transgender parents do not differ from children who are with the heterosexual parents. What matters there is the parent-child relationship. May mga pamilya nga, yes, na mga heterosexual yung mga parents nila, but then they influence their children in a bad manner or in not ideal way. So, it is not about the sexual of the parent that matters. It is about the parent and child relationship. Being heterosexual or homosexual individual did not exempt us to become or to be an individual. Kahit magiging homosexual ka from hetero, hindi yan magiging basihan na hindi ka na magiging tao, na hindi ka na magkakasala or magkakamali. Kaya nga sinasabi ko dito, mapa-homo man o mapa-hetero yung mga parent natin, kapag wala ding maayos na pakikipagrelasyon sa loob ng isang pamilya, wala din. Bad influence will always be there if a parent cannot do their task as a parent. That's for the parental aspect of transgender. While in my general view, it would still depends on a set of behavior that a transgender shows in the society. If it is too vulgar and might be harmful to children, then it is not literally acceptable. Consequently, if their actions or behaviors is child-friendly, then it's good. In short, we don't have the right to judge whether they're harmful or not, for they are also humans. Doesn't mean that they're quite different from what is known, then they don't have the right as what heterosexual had. We must accept each other's uniqueness to gain peace and genuine relationship between individuals. Kapag sinasabi nating homosexuality, yan yung pagkakagusto ng isang individual sa kauri niya. Babae to babae, lalaki to lalaki, yan ganyan. So that's we call homosexuality. Homosexuality is romantic attraction, sexual attraction, or sexual behavior between members of the same sex or gender. As a sexual orientation, homosexuality is an enduring pattern of emotional, romantic, and/or sexual attractions to people of the same sex. And so the question is homosexuality a mental illness or emotional problem? On my own point of view about homosexuality, I may not directly tell that it is a mental illness or an emotional problem, since according to my research, according to the World Health Organization, homosexual individuals, they did not experience any illness or problem in their mental health, since they are normal as heterosexual individual. A large body of scientific evidence indicates that being LGBT, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, or intersexual is completely compatible with a normal and healthy life. Clinical literature shows that same-sex sexual and romantic attractions, feelings, and behaviors are sound. They are perfectly acceptable variations of human sexuality. Based on that empirical survey or study of the World Health Organization, masasabi ko na ang mga heterosexual individual ay kagaya lang talaga ng mga homosexual na mga tao, na nakakaranas lang sila ng mga mental illness at emotional problem nang dahil sa mga stereotypes ng mga tao, mga biased judgment ng mga tao, ng kapwa-tao. And some other surveys also proved that heterosexual person or individual think rational and more logical, same as those heterosexual person. So to clarify my view about this question, is homosexual a mental illness or emotional problem? For me, neither of the two is the answer. Since for me, homosexual individual is normal as heterosexual individual. So it is very clear that heterosexual individual are also normal and did not experience any disorder. That ends my discussion for today. Thank you and God bless us all.